What's going on, you guys? My name is CodyT503 and this is a Just podcast. We are coming to you guys live on October 17th, 2025 for episode 115, where today we actually have a very special guest. And now it is an absolute pleasure to introduce to you guys NAOMI King.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing really good. It's an absolute pleasure for you to actually join us. Thank you so very much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for asking me to be here. I appreciate it.
All right, well, let's just start off for all of the people who maybe don't know you. Maybe you can introduce your name, where you're from, and maybe how long you've been training in pro wrestling.
Okay, so hi, my name is Naomi King. I'm a professional wrestler and I've been training since February of 2024. Recently made my debut and I'm from Portland, Oregon.
That's awesome. Well, before we really get into your career, I want to ask you what was like for you to actually step into OPWS? Like, were you excited? Were you nervous? How are you feeling going into it?
Definitely both. More scared than anything because I have like crazy social anxiety. But I was really excited. But the fear was always there for sure.
That is so interesting. Well, so when did you actually start to watch professional wrestling? Was it more recent, or have you always been a long time wrestling fan?
Oh, always. I started watching when I was like 8 years old. So my brother like showed me a match and fell in love since then. So
That is so interesting. Yeah. So, like, did you go through a tryout with OPWS, or did you just jump right into it?
I jumped right in. So I know that they had the little tryouts, but I was too afraid to go. So I ended up just going a random day after work, and I was like, you know what? If I do it now, if I don't do it now, I'm never gonna do it. So I just was like, I need to go. But yeah, I didn't go through a tryout though.
Very interesting. So, like, how was it for you when you actually went to your first day? Can you kind of walk us through that a little bit?
It was fairly simple. So I just kind of came in and so scared. I didn't know. I was like in the lobby kind of area, and the students just stared at me. I was like, huh. And then they called Ricky over. He showed me everything, and then everyone started showing me all I needed to do, and slowly it became more comfortable for sure.
That is so fascinating. So, like, has it always been a like long time thing that like you wanted to do, or was it like more recent when you actually found the school that you were like, I want to go out and do this?
I've always wanted to do it. I've always tried to look for other careers. I'm like, oh no, that's too far fetched. Maybe I'll just be a fan. But it just always digged in me that I needed to at least try it, you know? So, but I don't see myself really doing anything else but this. So,
That is so awesome. So, like, what were some of your favorite wrestlers you growing up and watching wrestling?
a bunch of them. So, I mean, I grew up around like the 2011 era. So it was just, Rey Mysterio, John Cena's obviously everybody's, uh, Randy Orton, Sheamus. But Rey Mysterio was definitely a staple. I grew up with the internet, so I got to like watch a lot of Eddie Guerrero. He was huge in that. And also for like the women, especially like AJ Lee is a common one. So yeah, just basic.
That is awesome. So, like, what are some of your kind of inspirations when it comes to performing in the ring? Do you really carry yourself with a lot of the wrestlers you were looking up to?
I feel like I take a little bit of everybody. AJ, I loved her charisma and everything. I love the way, Edge would like walk in with so much like star power. And I feel like I just take out a little bit of everybody. You just kind of mimic what you see. And I just feel like I'm living the fantasy.
That is so cool. So, when you were actually stepping into Oregon Pro Wrestling School for the first time, were you expecting it to be as hard as maybe you experienced it to be?
I built it up a lot in my head. Mainly like I feel like a lot of things surprised me of how difficult they were. Because some stuff I was like, oh yeah, that's a no brainer, and then I do it, and I'm like, I don't remember anything. So it's hard, and it took me a long time to even debut, just because it was way more difficult, but in the best way possible because I learned so much. So.
Yeah, that is so fascinating. So, like, how was it for you when you actually graduated from Oregon Pro Wrestling School? Was it a lot quicker, or was like, did you have to kind of struggle a little bit to really get it down?
Um, I feel like so I took about like maybe like a year before I like started wrestling, like in front of crowds and stuff. I wasn't sure when I graduated. Like if I'm honest, I couldn't tell you like a specific date of when Ricky was like, you're good. Um, I saw on the school page and I was like, oh, okay. But by then I was already doing some stuff, so it was already I was it's kind of a gray area when I really did. But it did take a while. Um, but if anything, I'm really grateful it took a while because otherwise I wasn't gonna be ready. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I know when I was sitting there and I was talking to Ricky Gibson, he said that every student is kind of different. Like it could be a couple months before you graduate, or it could be a couple years if maybe if it's something that, you have to really build on.
Mhm.
So like how was it for you when Ricky Gibson actually came to you and was like, you're ready to go?
Um, I feel like a lot of people, especially the people I trained with, it again, as he mentioned, like it varies. Some took like very little time, and then I took a bit. I feel like, but I'm not sure. It wasn't. He didn't like upright come to me. He just. I feel like it just was kind of like a known thing, and so it was kind of a cool like nod of approval kind of thing. So.
Yeah.
Mm.
That is so cool. Well, like I know that Ricky Gibson, he's very knowledgeable on the pro wrestling side of things.
Mhm.
So how is it learning underneath somebody where you can learn all of those different aspects of pro wrestling? Like how is he as a trainer?
Oh, I couldn't ask for a better trainer. Like honestly, he not only just like knows wrestling, he's in love with wrestling. So like when he teaches me things and sometimes I think I got it right, but even just like the most detailed critiques, the most psychologically like detailed man ever. So sometimes, I think I do something correctly, but then there's that one correction that's small, but it changes everything. And he notices all of that, no matter who the student is. And yeah, he's just so passionate about wrestling, and it very much shows in who he teaches and who graduates.
That is really awesome.
Mm.
So let's talk about your first ever match in front of a crowd. Like, can you kind of walk us through that a little bit and maybe how you were feeling?
Oh my god, I was gonna have a heart attack. I it was for a prestige private show, so no one there knew wrestling, and so I I was still like super super scared because I was like I'm gonna mess up. What if I forget this? What if I'm gonna trip as soon as I walk through the curtain? Um, what if I just start crying or something? I don't know. But it was overall just very like overwhelming in a very nice way, and I got to share the locker room with people that I really care about. So um, it was all overall just an amazing experience.
Yeah, and was that after the Pickles game that you actually were able to debut for the first time?
I believe that was like right before. It was the prestige one, so it's like I believe like a couple days before or something, or like a week before.
Yeah. So, like, how was it for you to be able to actually perform for a company like Prestige? Because they're one of the best, wrestling companies here in the Pacific Northwest. How does that feel to be given that opportunity?
Oh my god, the world. Ricky messaged. I keep on saying the world, but it really is like the world to me because Ricky messaged me about it, and he threw my name out there, and to even be able to, have him have that confidence in me, was just, I was overjoyed. And prestige, that actually made me even more nervous because I was like, oh my gosh, I need to like be perfect.
Yeah.
And I was, as soon as I got the message, I was like, I don't know if I'm ready. But
Very interesting. Well, I noticed when I was going throughout your social media that there was this video clip, and you said that it was actually like making hard times worth it. So, how can you kind of explain that to people about those hard times and you overcoming it?
oh, well, I feel like it's just, there's a lot of stuff, personal wise, obviously. Mainly it was financial. Very broke, still am. Um, just like the traveling and going to shows, even though I'm just working security, staying out really late because I just want to help out, set up the ring and put down the ring, going to training, staying late because someone's saying something important kind of thing. And at this time, I lived in Albany. So I traveled like an hour and a half from training every day, or not every day, but like the training days. um, but, doing that and, getting along with family and everything, it all just, it was difficult times, but every part of me felt like it was worth it once I got to actually perform.
That is so cool.
Mhm.
I noticed another thing on your social media was that you winning the OPWS Championship Battle Royal.
Yeah.
So, like, just being into that environment and you hearing, like, okay, we're going to put you over in this match. How much does that mean to you as an up and coming pro wrestler?
Uh, it was it was really cool. I didn't know I was going. I wasn't even sure if I was supposed to be in their match, but, because I knew that he just said all students pretty much, and I just like and just hopped in. And it felt like a lot of love from my other people that are there and everyone that I train with, and um, it just felt really nice, and like I had a real community with everyone.
That is really cool.
Mhm.
I know when I was talking to Jack Hammer when he was on my podcast, we were sitting there talking about how Oregon Pro Wrestling School kind of incorporates this family aspect, like you were just kind of touching on. Like, how does that feel to step into an environment where you don't have to be nervous about what you're doing because you know that everybody has your back?
Feels very great. I mean, in wrestling, you gotta work with each other. And even though you're pissed with each other, you're mad, you're sad, you're going through something personal, like people are still there to work with you, and so they'll help you out if they'll make you feel good, if they try to help you, and that's the biggest thing, is that everyone there is so encouraging. um Everyone there wants you to get better. If you want to get better, they'll help you get better. And so just to kind of know that people trust you with their health in the ring, is the same way you feel like you can trust them, not only in the ring but outside of the ring. And I'm very grateful to have that very caring aspect, to being a part of the school. Because honestly, if that wasn't part of the school, I'm not sure how long I'd last. I made a lot of good friends here.
That is so cool.
Mhm.
I noticed that when you were performing, that you had won the 4 out of 10 title.
Mhm.
So, like, how does it feel to be so early in your career, yet they've given you a championship that, like, you can really carry?
Ah, just so blessed, beyond blessed. I didn't know that was even part of the match. If I'm honest, as soon as I saw it, that was genuine reaction of me being very surprised. um,
Yeah.
but just so fortunate, so out of this world blessed, and I feel like um, I was really meant to be here with these people, because they they put a lot into me, and so I want to give my best back to them.
That is so awesome. I also noticed when I was scrolling throughout your Facebook or Instagram, whatever, was that you had a match with Amira where it was teacher versus student. So how was it kind of going into that match and having her kind of guide you through, the ebbs and flows of a pro wrestling match and how to really put it over? Like, how was it working for her knowing how professional she was?
I knew that Amira was always like, I mean, she's one of the most well-known wrestlers in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, and since the beginning, since when I started training, she's always looked out for me a lot of the times, and I've always felt that. And so to be able to wrestle her in Queen of Thorns in something that was so big meant a lot. And she just came back from Japan at that point. I just freshly graduated. I feel like, if anything, there's just so much more to tell with that story. So,
Yeah, that is awesome. So, like, how does it feel for you to go into a match and maybe them ask you, like, what are your thoughts on this? What if we do this? And you're like, well, I have this idea. Why don't we try to do that? Like, them being able to give you that opportunity to speak on maybe what you expect from the match or what you want to incorporate.
um, I'm not too sure. I mean, I feel um, I feel like I don't really have good ideas a lot of time. So a lot of times I'm like, yep, yes, okay, I'll do it. I got it. So yeah, I'm not too sure. It was just really great to work with her. But I honestly don't even remember how we set that up. Amir is just very talented. So to be able to have her guide me through that was very nice.
That is so cool. So, like, how was it for you when you were trying to find yourself in the ring? Like, being able to come up with the character or come up with a repertoire on what you want to bring to the ring? Like, was that after you graduated, or was it more like you already kind of had something in mind?
Oof. So before I even started training, I had like a million ideas and all that stuff. As soon as I started training, I'm like, no, I'm gonna focus. Let's focus on trying to get good first. Um,
Mhm.
so I like threw all that stuff out the window. I was like, all right, just focus on at least getting into advanced class. I got there and I'm like, oh, I should start thinking about that now. And at that point, I didn't know what to kind of go with. Um, but I also know that I kind of just went off my personality. I feel like I'm kind of known to be a little bit more bubbly, and I like purple. I like pink. I like things that are nice, but I also know that I have a lot of aggression in me. So um, I feel like that's just kind of how it cultivated. It never ended up being like a true character, I guess, but it was very much like amplifying the parts of me that people see, and people see that I'm more I don't know, more cutesy, I guess, kind of vibe, not super angry. At least that's how I look. So I just kind of went based off of that.
Very fascinating.
Mm.
Well, I noticed that you were actually able to debut for POW Pro Wrestling. Is there anything that like you notice about POW that maybe differentiates the company from other promotions as far as your perspective goes?
Um, Different from other promotions. In a lot of ways, yes. I feel like it's a lot of like the fans there. They're just very knowledgeable of what wrestling is, and so going in front of that crowd, if I mess up, they know. So I feel like just the people of Eugene are just the people that make that show what it is. And you can really tell by just kind of how the crowd is, how everybody's setup is. And I just love the comic book feel and like the old kind of classic wrestling vibe. And so that's what I really enjoy about POW. That's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Mm.
I know when again when I was sitting there talking to Jack Hammer, he was saying that POW Pro Wrestling really likes to fixate on characters and storylines.
Mhm.
So, how is it for you to go into a match and then have these new wrestlers that maybe want to incorporate these not old school, but uh, like aspects to the match? Like, how is it coordinating? Are you more open to hearing exactly what somebody's thinking as far as we could do this and this will equal that?
Yeah, I'm definitely. I feel like I'm usually like an open book. I'm very like go with the flow. So especially like people wanting to do different characters and everything. I I'm all for it. Let's try something new. Let's try something fun.
Yeah.
Mm.
Very interesting. Yeah, I was watching your POW match with Jonas Albert Robinson,
Mm.
and I noticed that you were able to do a Hurricanrana on him.
Mm.
So, like, did you kind of come up with that and be like, we could do this, and that would maybe spotlight me?
Oh no, that was not me. I'm not creative enough to think of that. Jonas, gosh, what a guy. He's a huge guy. So, like when he got me on the shoulders and everything on his shoulders, I was like, well, the only way to go is down. So, and that's like, again, I'm super green. So, I just kind of went based off of what I can do, and I feel like he did too. So,
Yeah.
mhm.
Well, I also noticed that when you were going up against Rebel Kell and In My Eyes, how was it kind of working with like another female?
It was great. I love working with the guys, but working with her was very fun. I just wanted to kind of prove myself a little bit. I feel like, yes, there was a match with Amir and everything, but I want to go with everybody. And Rebel Kell is someone that I've seen since I started attending any of these shows. So being able to wrestle her, I was like, that's one off the bucket list. So,
Yeah.
mm.
So, like, what are some of your other bucket list moments that maybe you want to accomplish in your career? Are there anything specific?
um, I mean, there's pages and pages full of them, right? But I guess locally, kind of more starting off point. But there's a bunch of different people that I want to wrestle, both men and women, like Brooke Havoc. Uh, oh, Matt Brannigan would be cool. And there's just like a bunch of them. So it's mainly like opponent based. I want to travel so much. I want to go to different countries, states, and I really just want to do this full time. That's the everybody's goal, but that's really the main thing for sure.
Yeah. Is there any companies and anything that inspired you to take that risk?
Oh, I feel like I just kind of learned off of what I see. So when I see other wrestlers, they talk casually about how they've reached out to this promotion and that promotion. And when I realize it's kind of like a normal thing to do, I feel more inspired to reach out. Um, so yeah, I feel like it's just kind of commonplace for everybody to kind of do that, and I just kind of followed suit. So.
Interesting. Well, besides other countries or you traveling or doing this and that, what are some other accomplishments that you would feel really good about actually achieving in your career?
Uh, like if I again, if I could do this full time, I would love that. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what I only see myself doing. Of course, like there's the big companies that I could go to and all that stuff that I would want to be a part of. But honestly, if even this were to all end tomorrow, I'd be happy with what I've accomplished. Just wrestling in general. Um, Actually being in that ring is the only thing that matters to me in this business. I don't try to fixate too much on contracts or things like that. But would it be nice? Absolutely. That'd be cool. But um,
Yeah.
winning championships is cool, all that stuff. But I just want to wrestle.
That is so awesome. So, like, is there any pressure on you knowing that when people look at, okay, so this person's gone to OPWS, they've graduated, now you can become this based off of going to Oregon Pro Wrestling School? Does that add any pressure, or are you really comfortable underneath that banner?
No, I know I need a lot of work to do. Because I could have been taught just a year's worth and call it good, but no, I'm always a student to this game. So, and especially because I'm an OPW student, I want to make I want to really follow suit and kind of show people that yes, OPW students are good.
Yeah.
And I really just want to carry my school with so much dignity. And so the better I get, the more traction that leads for OPW. And I mean, that goes for everybody, but I just want to make my school proud.
That is awesome. So I noticed that you were also a part of the transition from their old property as OPWS and then getting into a bigger facility. So how was it kind of going to the bigger uh
Like the smaller one to the kind of bigger.
yeah, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. It was weird. I will say it was a little bit weird because the new space is so open and the
Yeah.
other space felt more like, I don't know, like cozier, I want to say. So I got really comfortable because I'm really like anxious a lot of times. So I got really comfortable in the old school. And then when we switched, I'm like, oh, wow, this feels very official and cool. But not that it didn't before. Sorry, Ricky. Um, but the bigger school feels more like we've earned like I feel like as a school we've earned a bigger building, and even then it just kind of becomes a motivation thing to let's keep it a big building, let's keep getting people in here and trying stuff. So
Interesting.
mhm.
So like what kind of motivates you to continue to build off of your character?
Oh, just the people around me. I feel like everyone's just so much better. So when when I see people's their gear, when I see how they change their hair, how they change their character and evolve their character, I feel like the people around me inspire me the most. Because yeah, I see people on the screen, but they're more polished. To see someone elevate their look to a more bigger one and a different one, that's what moves me more. So when I see someone come out with cooler gear, I'm like, oh, I should get cooler gear. So, but yeah, that stuff's coming soon. So
That is so fascinating. Well, I just kind of just want to end on a really good note. What does being a professional wrestler to you mean?
yeah. It means feeling something different than normal life. It means when you're in there, you are in full control of yourself, and you I feel like words can't really describe fully, but it's an out of this world feeling that I've been seeking for, and that's what moved me to start wrestling. Um, but I feel like once you're in there, it's like nothing else. So it means living to me. So
That is so cool. So it's like, what do you want to accomplish heading into the final quarter of 2025 and maybe leading into 2026? Like, what do you plan on doing?
get booked more. um, definitely like new promotions, new opponents. I want to at least wrestle some people from like maybe a different state, like go to Washington more. Oh, California would be cool. Canada would be cool. Just got my passport, so Canada would be cool. Um, so I think just getting more experience, being booked more, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That is so awesome.
Mm.
Well, I just want to thank you for allowing me to sit down with you and just go throughout all of the questions that I had laid out and just know more about who Naomi King is.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you asking me to be here, and you've asked really good questions, so I really appreciate the time I've had. So thank you for listening.
Awesome. Well, I cannot wait to see you. I really hope that one day you come to Independence so we can sit there and talk.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right. Well, I hope you have a very, very good night, and I'll talk to you later.
You too. Stay safe. Bye. Oh, I don't know.
Well, all right, you guys. So that was Interesting's podcast interview with Naomi King. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe button, and ring that notification bell so you guys get notified whenever I upload content. Make sure to go and follow me on social media at CodyT503. That's Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I hope you have a very